gonna do this again. I'm gonna. Okay, first of all, you guys are tuned in to Quick Blitz. I'm Vashti. I heard Sheena Quick. We are your hosts. We are Panthers beat writers. And listen, guys, 7:05 hit, and I'm live, and Sheena and I are talking, and I'm like, nobody's commenting. Where the people at?
Where the people?
I didn't hit go live. Just a whole mess, child. Just a whole mess.
It's Monday though.
It's Monday. But the Panthers season came to an end on Saturday. In respectable fashion, they fell to the Los Angeles Rams in the wild card round of the playoffs. 34-31. But we have given the Panthers a hard time for the game day environment. We go to stadiums all the time, and it's like it's a snooze fest at times. But let me tell you what, shout out to the Panthers. They did the bank, and they did the fans at the bank right on Saturday. It was a crazy environment. It was packed to the brink. And most importantly, they listened to your girls.
And did. Man, Saturday kind of felt like a fever dream. Like, it felt so weird. Even just thinking back the day afterwards, I was just like, man, that was kind of dope. Like, the whole day just felt, number one, it was Saturday. It was a 4:30 game. We're used to 1:00 kickoffs in Charlotte. But, man, they listened to you guys.
They listened to you guys. Y'all said it. We talked about it on the pod. We said we wanted QB1. They brought out QB1, but they also brought out other guys. I tried to upload the footage of Cam actually banging the drum, but there were some other guys there as well.
Ring of Honor guys.
Look at the guys from the 2015 team. I don't know if you guys can see everybody, but there's Jonathan Stewart, Trey Boston, TD, all the people we told them not to bring, okay? But they brought them with Cam Newton. That's all that matters, okay? They brought them with Cam Newton. If they had just brought them by themselves, it would have been a problem. But they brought them with Cam Newton, and it really was a good look. What were your thoughts on bringing Cam back? And I'm gonna pull up the video of that.
I thought the whole thing was awesome. I mean, and he even, let fans get an even closer viewpoint of him when he filmed his podcast at the tailgate. And you should have just heard the chants of MVP. He brought out, Luke Kuechly. They're chanting Hall of Fame. They were telling stories from how they knew that they were having a special season in 2015, but they still kept it about the present day Panthers, what they needed to do to win. It was all we got to do this and we got to do that. They're still taking ownership of this Carolina Panthers team. And I thought it was pretty dope to see. And honestly, to me, and Bryce ended up having the game that he had, that was a true passing of the torch for me. There's also now a solo Cam Newton poster photo in the stadium.
Oh, breaking news! Where is the poster?
Princely actually posted it. Let me see if I can find it and pull it up for you guys and add that to the stream. We're going to pull that up for y'all. But yeah.
And that was one of Cam's gripes, y'all. And they said Cam was at
understandably so.
Understandably so. Cam says he wasn't around Bank of America Stadium, and the Panthers said that he was, and it was different though. It was him in a team setting. There are individual posters of guys who made an impact on the franchise. I did not see an individual poster of Cam Newton, and now there's one. I just thought it was really, really a good look. This is Cam banging the drum. I don't know if you believe in juju. I believe in juju, right? I've always
and it got lifted. Yeah.
There was bad juju over the Panthers with how everything happened with Cam and his departure. And I believe that when people do you right, you need to do them right in return. And I don't think Cam's departure was handled well. I don't think it was respectful. And I think the environment matches the energy that you put into it, right? And that was bad energy that was put in the Bank of America Stadium. And I believe the torch was passed. I also believe some of the bad energy that was surrounding the stadium and surrounding the franchise based on what happened with Cam Newton. I think it was lifted some.
Pink Panther said passing of the torch is a reach. I don't think it's a reach because this is Bryce Young's team. We are in 2026. 2015, it was absolutely Cam Newton's team. 2026 going forward, this is Bryce Young's team. I don't think that he left any doubt. And there has to be a passing of the torch at some point, you guys. Like, I mean, that just is the reality of the situation. I don't know. I don't feel like that's disrespect or a slight to Cam, but it's 2026, and I do think it was a passing of the torch for me.
And I would agree because I think that people felt like Cam was salty about. I don't know whether they thought that Cam wasn't supportive of Bryce because of whatever. I never thought that was the case. He never gave that. But for him to come back and bang the drum, it was a passing of the torch. It was, I'm leaving. I helped build this franchise, and here you go. I'm wishing you well. I'm wishing you well.
It's time for the next crop. We did what we did 10 years ago. Y'all bring it back. Bring it back to respectability. Bring it back to where these analysts are actually watching these games before they're commenting on y'all. Because right now, most of national sports media, of course, I don't watch it in real time. I see clips that you guys post on Twitter, on Instagram, and things like that. And it's just a bunch of guys shouting into a mic with the lazy narrative about the Panthers that shows you that they didn't even tune into any games. They just expected them to be the same old Panthers. I think they took a huge step in the next direction for this franchise.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the fourth quarter, they brought out even more legends. I knew they were going to do something at the beginning of the fourth quarter, but at the beginning of the fourth quarter, they brought out Steve Smith, Sim Muhammad, Jake Malone. It was just, they did the right thing. And I think that's what the fans deserve. They did what the fans deserved and needed. So kudos 100%. To the Panthers. Let's address this real quick.
Cam can't jump on the organization and expect flowers when he walks through the door.
Let's clear this up. And I don't know if Cam dumped on the organization, but the organization dumped on Cam first. And if I reciprocate energy, I don't have any problem with that. They made it seem like Cam wanted to leave the Panthers, like Cam asked for a release or he didn't want to stay. That was never the case. So the way his departure happened, if he was salty about that, I feel like he had every right to be. And if he said something about the Panthers organization, given what happened, then all justified, in my opinion.
I think that where the franchise was, he was speaking the truth. I don't think he was, unjustifiably being biased in a negative way towards it. I think he was speaking on what he was witnessing and what he was observing in real time, because up until Canales and Morgan, this has been it's been a dumpster fire. And I think that now that he's in media, it was his duty to be honest about that. I don't think he necessarily dumped on them unnecessarily or unfairly. I think he just spoke on what he was observing like the rest of us did.
Yeah, and so, let's talk a bit about the game. Let's talk a bit about the game.
Let's address this one really quick. It's his team for now, but our franchise QB is in a 2027 draft class. That's why it's taking the Panthers this long to get back to respectability. That type of thinking right there. You want to blow it up and change. Like, no one gets a chance to gel, to mesh, to grow. There's no way you watch that game on Saturday. You just don't like Bryce Young, and that's fine. There's no way you watch that game on Saturday and you're looking into the 2027 draft class. There's no way.
That's actually crazy. That's crazy.
Absolutely insane.
I don't even know what to say about that. Like you said, Pink Panther, you have the right to your opinion, but game managers are just fine. Every player is not going to be.
Game managers are winning Super Bowls. Game managers are winning Super Bowls.
Josh Allen, game changer, not one Super Bowl appearance. Lamar Jackson, game changer, not one Super Bowl appearance. Like Patrick Mahomes, game changer, sitting at home during the playoffs. Let's not act like you have to be a game changer in order to thrive and be successful on a team. And Bryce has his moments where he can take over a game. So and I completely agree, Sheena. You can't and I think we're going to talk a little bit about Xavier and other guys, but to see what the Panthers have done coming off a playoff appearance for the first time, home playoff game for the first time in 10 years, and you're looking for a new quarterback in the 2027 draft class.
Not used to nice things.
Not used to
nice things.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Not used to nice things. I mean, I just don't understand how you're expecting to build any type of success. You want to swap the quarterback out every 1 to 2 years. I mean, the same thing can be said. I think they moved on from Teddy Bridgewater too fast. I think Teddy Bridgewater had an average season as far as his career is. He had Robbie Anderson at 1,000 yards. DJ Moore is going to get his 1,000 yards. It don't matter who is under center. I feel like somebody else had 1,000 all-purpose yards that season too. But 3,000 yard offensive performance with Teddy Bridgewater. Moved on too fast from him. Sam Darnold moved on too fast from him, considering what you had given up. Then you bring Baker in. I don't think people are going to be happy until it's a carousel. I think that sometimes people like kind of dwelling in the misery because it gives them something to talk about. And again, I'm not dumping on anyone's opinion. Some people just don't like Bryce Young. And I am willing to say, and this might be a stretch, but I'm willing to say at least 80 to 85% of the Bryce Young slander would not be there if he were 6 feet tall. If his numbers were the same, his performance was the same, it wouldn't be there if he was 6'1". So that's just a hype bias to me. And I mean, I can't really take that kind of stuff seriously. To look at this team and say, we need a quarterback. No, the Panthers need a whole lot, but quarterback is not one of them. I think he cemented himself as the franchise guy.
Yeah, we're gonna get to some of the needs that the quarterback that the Panthers had. What do you think of Dave Canales' play calling this past game?
I think that he wasn't as conservative as we had seen. And even on that last drive, he definitely could have managed the clock a lot better to, leave the game with 3 timeouts. I think it's just a bit much. I think that he's also a second-year head coach, guys. He's also a second-year head coach. You're right there toe-to-toe with a chance to move on to the divisional round. The defense had sold. I'm sorry, Evero sold. I'm not going to say the players. Evero sold. And all they needed was 32 yards. And I like the play call to Jimmy Horn. It was there. He was open. So I like that. A lot of people are like, 4 straight incompletions. You could have mixed it up a little bit. But I think that I think the nerves got to him a little bit at the end. What do you think, V? Just a little bit.
Yeah, and it's crazy because after that touchdown to put him up with 2 minutes, I was like, yo, the Panthers really going to do this, because it was almost like deja vu from that first game. All the defense needed to do was get a stop. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But as far as play calling with Canales, you get the ball with 30-some seconds left, 32 seconds left, and 3 straight incompletions. You're right. You got to try to run it at least once. I don't know if in that moment, I think the lights were a little too bright for Canales. I think he was trying to push a little hard, especially when you have 3 timeouts. All of your timeouts, you had the opportunity to mix it up and potentially catch them off guard. But it was a learning experience for everyone. Canales had never really been in that situation as head coach. All of this was new territory for everyone. I wasn't mad, and we saw some people talk about them going for it on 4th down, 4th and 1 from their own 45 in the first offensive possession. I wasn't mad at that. I was
mad at the call. I didn't like the call. I think you run it, you pick up your yard. It was too early in the game to try to get cute. You're still in your own territory. Now, if you're deeper in Rams territory, that's a different story. But in your own territory that early in the game, giving Matt Stafford a short field to start with, I didn't like that. I'm okay with the aggression, but not the call. I didn't like the play call.
I agree. I'm not mad at the aggressive play, setting the tone out of the gate that you're going to be aggressive with your play calling. 1 yard. If your O-line can't give you 1 yard, then there's something's wrong. And I saw it in another game. They went empty backfield on a 4th and 1 and didn't get it. Like, I don't understand why these guys get cute in that situation. Like, I really don't understand that. Speaking
it's okay
of
to grind it out to get your yard. Just grind it out, get your yard, get a fresh set of downs, then you can get cute on first
down. Speaking of the run game, Chuba Hubbard. Like, Chuba had 13 carries to Rico Dowdle's 5. Chuba averaged 3.5 yards per carry. He had 2 touchdowns, 46 total yards. Rico Dowdle, 5 rushes, 9 yards, 1.8 yards per carry.
What did I look to you and say first quarter of that game?
What did you say?
I said Chuba came and took his team. I think it's as simple as that. He came back and he took his team back. I think that Rico had the hot hand, so you go with Rico as the hot hand. That was smart to do. And as Chuba kind of rounded back into game shape and game speed, got his football legs back under him after being out with injury, he took his team back. I Rico's think on a 1 year. Chuba signed a long-term deal. They paid him. He was the more productive back at the back end of the season. I mean, the run game kind of stalled out. They weren't, running guys over the way that they were. They had some shifts along that offensive line. A lot of factors come into play, but Chuba Hubbard came back and took his team back. And that's just as simple as that.
Rico was never a long-term option. And I think the coaches knew it. I think the team knew it. I think Chuba knew it. I think Rico knew it. Rico came on a prove-it year. They drafted Etienne. They have Jonathan Brooks. I'm not sure how that's going to go. And you have Chuba as your feature back. Rico was always, this was a placeholder. This was, let me show what I can do so I can secure that bag. And in the last game of the season, it was, you've shown, like, and I think the Panthers did, whether, and there are questions about whether Panther, like, Rico was salty about getting less carries. Rico can't be mad at Panthers at all. Not only did they give him an opportunity to amass 1,000 yards, but when he had it wasn't like they took his carries away when he could get that bonus. They were feeding him the ball and he got that bonus. So, like, he should have nothing but gratitude for the Panthers organization, which I'm sure he does. I'm positive he wasn't happy about the 5 carries in that game, but
I think that happened because of the flow of the game. You got to go with the flow of the game. If Chuba is churning when they're giving him the ball and they just stop and give it to Rico and Rico gets stuffed, people are going to be like, why would you change something that's working? You don't change what's working. The same way that when Rico was churning and getting his yards, Chuba was on the sideline. You go with the hot hand. And I did see the video that Joe Person posted where Rico said, his diminished carries or his decreased carries are going to affect the decision he makes in free agency, saying he wants to go somewhere where he's going to get the bulk of the carries. That was never going to be Carolina.
Yeah.
You were coming off 1,000 yards, but Chuba was too. So, and there's no other organization that you're going to go with an established running back that's on a long-term deal that was drafted by the organization, and you're just going to get the bulk of the carries just off the bat. You're going to earn them, and maybe he's ready to do that. But I think that this was a win-win situation. The Panthers got the production, and he was able to increase his market value. And sometimes that's just what it is. Both sides are placated, and you served your purpose for that season, and you both go your separate ways. That's just how it happens sometimes.
This is what Rico said during cleanout day.
Get some rest and recovery, and like I said, take some time and then get back into it when it's time for it to get started back up. Just some rest.
When you look back on the season, how did the season go for you? Would you say?
It was okay. Had a couple of good games during the season, but I think it could have been a lot better.
In what ways?
In what ways?
In what ways could it have been better?
Just more plays being made, especially on the second half of the season. A couple games, just felt like I could have did more and things like that. So, from that perspective.
You've been through this free agency thing before. Like, how do you approach the uncertainty surrounding it?
Just let my agent handle it, and then he talked to the team and do all that, give me what they saying, and then just go from there. So it's really just a waiting game, just waiting for the phone calls and things like that.
Oh, I didn't get the last part. Oh, I gotta play the last part.
Do you want to be that because you think they'll bring up?
Hold on.
Do you have any needs?
Rico, do you want to be that because you think they'll bring up?
I'm not really sure. When that time comes, we'll see. Go from there.
That man says, I'm not really sure if he wants to stay in Carolina. That's real.
I get it. You want the ball. And Canales has shown that he's going to go with the high hand. And I think that that's smart. You got to do what's best for the team. And again, Chuba took his team back. I think Chuba is the ultimate team player. He wasn't salty about Rico getting his carries. He understood. Chuba Hubbard took his team back.
And I don't think that anybody could be mad. I don't think anybody can be mad on either side. Speaking of taking your spot back, we had another player that potentially took the wide receiver 2 spot from debatable, but Jaylen Coker, 9 receptions on 12 targets, 134 yards, and 1 touchdown. It was truly a coming out game for Jaylen Coker. He hooped. And if you ask anybody in that locker room about Jaylen Coker, he is a dog. And don't let that baby face fool you. He is an assassin. He's not an unrestricted free agent. He
exclusive rights
free agent, meaning that I'm sure the Panthers are going to work a deal for him. The question is
in the next couple of days, I'm sure.
The question is about Xavier Legette. Has this spot been taken? And what do you think the outlook is for him this offseason?
I think that right now we are being realistic and we're being honest. Yes. I mean, Canales all but said it. Basically, McMillan and Coker are going to start the offseason and OTAs and things like that in a starting role. He says that Xavier has always worked hard, continues to work hard, and shows up in different areas of the stat sheet, whether it's blocking. He works really hard, and he has confidence that he'll bounce back and have a great third season. But right now, January 12th, Jaylen Coker, I think, is wide receiver 2. And that's not even, that's just being honest.
And based on that performance and based on his performance this season, Jaylen Coker outplayed Xavier Legette. I
think Xavier Legette would even agree with you on that. Yeah, he would even agree with you when it comes to that.
I'm not and listen, guys, y'all gonna feel how y'all feel about this. I'm not out on Xavier Legette, just like I wasn't out on Bryce Young, just like I wasn't out on Derek Brown. Just like I'm not out on any rookie after one season or even 2 seasons. I believe you need to give players at least 3 seasons. Sometimes guys pop and then fizzle. Sometimes it's a slow burn and they work their way up. Sometimes they pop and they stay hot. Everybody's trajectory is different in the league. Obviously, this was a rough season for Xavier. During the offseason, I think he'll get his mind right. He'll refocus. I don't think he was having fun this year. It just wasn't.
Oh, he absolutely wasn't. He was not.
He wasn't having fun.
Definitely wasn't.
He really wasn't getting the ball. He was being slandered on social media. He's already tough on himself. You have the pressures of trying to remain in the league. You got T-Mac, who's new to the team, Coker, who's taking your spot. This offseason will be critical for Xavier to get his confidence back, to get his love for the game back, and then to come back stronger and better than ever for his 3rd season, which will then be his make or break year next season. But I'm not ready to say that he is a bust. It's just too early for that.
And the people that are saying trade Xavier Legette, what do you think you're going to get?
What are you?
I'm just wondering, what are you going to get?
A 6th round pick, maybe
for your first rounder just 1 year ago.
Ridiculous. It would be ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous. But again, and I think that what's hard for some fans is this is not Madden. This is not Madden. Dan Morgan has been working his butt off behind the scenes to recoup all that draft capital that was lost during all the 3-4 straight years of terrible trades. I think that he is patient. I think that if he does think it's time to move on for Xavier Legette, he'll do so, and he'll do it for max compensation. I just don't know what you would move Xavier Legette for right now, and I just think it's way too early. Way too
early. Xavier was always a project. Dan Morgan knew that. He saw the upside potential, not necessarily the immediate impact. He was thrust into that role, but they traded up to draft him because they thought in year 3, year 4 that they would definitely want to have the option to exercise that 5th year.
Exercise that 5th year.
So we'll see.
I mean, a couple things, and a couple things happened his rookie season to kind of like I guess almost try to expedite that. They weren't planning on Deontay Johnson requesting a trade or being moved. Xavier was not supposed to be wide receiver 1 his rookie season. He got thrust into that X spot. He was never, that was not in the development plan for him. The departure of Deontay Johnson, and then Adam Thielen got hurt in week 3 against the Raiders. It kind of expedited, not quite ready to be in just yet last season.
It was tough. And let alone Bryce is a quarterback who's still finding his footing as well. It just was not a good mix on any level for Xavier. I'm not out on him. Give him another season before you start. Like y'all Panthers fans can be rough. I figured that y'all would have learned y'all lesson. Like no, literally. But no, it's like, boy, y'all made
you have a bad game, maybe y'all out of there.
He cut off his comments. Because y'all were in his comments. Y'all got to do better by your young players because that the mental. Like relax on some of that stuff. Relax on some of that stuff. Let's talk about defense real quick because we can really, this defense could really be a whole show. The Panthers went up and all defense had to do for 2 minutes was hold the LA Rams. That's all they had to do. Was hold the LA Rams. What did the LA Rams do? 7 plays, 71 yards in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Easy.
I don't even think they had to use their I don't even think they have to use any timeouts, did they? They have a 2-minute warning, but I don't think they had to use any of their timeouts.
I'll have to look and see. I'll have to look and see if they use any timeouts. I don't think that they did. All I know is it was way too easy. A 7-yard pass, a 10-yard pass, a 6-yard pass, that one 18 yards,
dink and
an
dunk.
11-yard pass. Like
dink and dunk.
That whole preventing a long play, like it doesn't mean anything unless you only got a few seconds and they're forced to throw the ball deep. But they had a full 2 minutes and several timeouts to work with. And you allowed.
You know what makes me mad about Evero, amongst other things? First of all, I'm not going to ignore the fact that y'all was telling me to get a man flowers. I told y'all no. I stand by that. But y'all had Tyler Shough walking around like he was Tom Brady. Not y'all. Evero had because they were able to move the ball down and score. They're talking, was there ever any doubt Matt Stafford this and Matt Stafford that? Matt Stafford is undoubtedly going to have a gold jacket one day. He will be in Canton one day. Not to take anything from him, but he didn't have to really do anything. There was no pressure. It was almost like he was playing 7-on-7, just chilling. I mean, I was he's over there wide open, up 36. Okay, they're playing 10 off. Got it. Like, they didn't have to do that's. I think that's the thing that's sitting with Panthers fans the most is that if you're going to make Matt Stafford beat you, make Matt Stafford beat you. Make him make some throws. Make insane catches. Make Devontae Adams work for it. Make them earn it. You didn't. That soft zone at the end of that game was a disservice to the defensive players. To me, it was a complete disservice.
T. Thompson says, y'all talk about the defense all y'all want, but our first 3 drives on offense resulted in 0 points. 31 points.
They had 31 points at the end of that game. Like, it is what it is.
31 points should win you the game. 31
points should win you a football
and
game.
You're up with 2 minutes should win you the game. I really don't care. Yeah, they didn't score on the first 3 drives, but they scored enough to put the team in winning position. Now your defense has to go and shut the door like they did the first game, and they were unable to do it. That soft coverage just is not working. It does not work. It
if you
doesn't
look at
work.
That's what happened in the Saints game a couple weeks ago. Dink and dunk. I was like, Vashti, he about to go into prevent defense, so it is what it is. I knew that. And to me, I feel like, Mike Jack is playing out of his freaking mind. Mike Jack is playing out of his mind this season. I think that times that he had these pass breakups, these interceptions, these huge defensive stops, he outplayed that scheme. To me, Mike Jack was outplaying the scheme. And I do think that the couple of times that they did go man, good things happened. When they pressure Matt Stafford, he was rattled. I know apparently on the broadcast they said he was whatever the case was, he was rattled. The bank was rocking.
That first possession after halftime, where they it was a quick 3 and out, and they were all in his face. Stafford was shook. At that point, I'm all gas, no brakes. I'm all gas, no brakes. I'm not letting off the hook. Plymouth, I don't understand these apologists. We forced turnovers and made Stafford uncomfortable. 1 turnover, and Stafford was not uncomfortable at all.
It's just because Mike Jack is playing out of his mind. Like I said, he is instinctive. He is in plays. He relies on his fundamentals, and he's able to make these plays on the ball. He is, and even like you saw, Mina Kimes was like, they need to play man more because you got the corners for it. The DBs were strapping. And again, like I said, make him beat you over the top. Make him throw a bomb, but don't just give it to him. Don't just walk him down the field. There's no honor in that. And again, I feel like it was a complete disrespect and a disservice to those defensive players. They showed that when he brought pressure, they were bringing the pressure. They were successful and good things were happening. And he decided with the season on the line to just be scared.
Zone coverage, and I've talked to guys in the locker room about this and other professional players. Listen, I understand. Listen, I can study the game all I want. I've never played it on a professional level, and most of y'all in the comments, pretty much all of y'all in the comments haven't either. So with that being said, zone is to make up for deficiencies with your corners and in your backfield, right? Your secondary. They have one of the best secondaries in the league with JC and Mike Jack. You have 2 corners who can really go toe-to-toe with the best wide receivers in the league. So why not pressure the quarterback? Why not bring that heat? Why go into that zone where it just does not work? It does not work. It does.
I told you, prevent defense don't do anything but prevent you from winning. And I hate when I see him go into it.
Sorry, JC was out for 1 series, and JC didn't play the whole first game when they beat the Rams. I don't want to hear about JC was out and that changed the game plan. I don't think it changed anything. Evero doesn't switch his scheme. Evero did what he wanted to do.
JC was in the game at the end of that Saints game. Prevent, zone, soft zone. And again, like, the thing to be making me mad is that these quarterbacks get to talk smack, and it's like you weren't out there dicing them up. You have to do nothing. It just, like I said, it was almost like he was playing 7-on-7. You can't do that with a quarterback like Matt Stafford. You can't. It's inevitable.
This is what Mike Jack had to say when I asked him about that prevent defense after the game. Explain to me that last drive, because people are going to question the soft coverage and all of that.
People going to question that all they want to. Like, at the end of the day, nobody gave us a chance, so it really don't matter. Like, and everybody, the people that's questioning it, bro, let me see what you've been doing. Like, show me your credentials and, like, how you know coverage and how you know when to blitz, when not to blitz. So, and you feel me? They got armchair quarterbacks, but at the end of the day, you're not doing this for a living.
Does it make it tougher, though, that it was y'all had I know the defense takes pride in getting the stop. Does it hurt harder that y'all weren't able to get the stop?
Yeah, it's always gonna irritate you at the end of the day, no matter what. Like, because no matter if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, like it don't matter. Like, you always want to get the stop, and you always want to, make that big play. It didn't happen for us, but there ain't nothing, you feel me, to hang your head on, because you still got more ops to go make plays. It's just not this year.
Well, that's what Mike Jack said. I asked Princely.
What did I say afterwards?
What'd you say?
And guys, I'm just telling y'all, I stand on business. I don't say anything in that locker room, or I don't say anything in here. I don't say in the locker room. When he finished, I said, Mike Jack, it's me. I'm people. I feel like y'all are too talented to play. Oh, and he started laughing. I said, I get it. I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I know. Look, I know. I said, but I'm people. And that last series didn't do you guys any justice. Y'all have been effective all game. I told him, I was like, I'm people. I'm questioning the soft cover. Just me. I want it better for you guys.
Well, Princely, much respect.
Definitely wasn't being politically correct at all.
Princely, he tried to hold his tongue. I asked him about the pass rush and how that can improve. And this was yesterday during cleanout day. And this is what he said. Defense need to do to improve the pass rush.
Improve it.
I'm not trying to ask loaded questions.
I feel you. How can I put this, bro? I'm
not trying. I'm really not trying to. But that was a struggle.
And I don't think it has anything to do with our pass rush. Yeah, I don't think it had. Like, I see a lot of things on social media, guys like, we need to sign this guy, get some pass. It has nothing to do with the players.
You saying the talent is there?
Yeah, the talent is 100% there.
The last defensive series.
Yeah.
Explain to me the theory behind the defense or the prevent defense in those situations.
I don't have an explanation.
Okay.
Thanks, Prince.
Listen, let me put this out there, because Back Outside Boys said I was trying to be messy. Listen, guys, my job is to ask questions. And my job is to ask questions that people want to know the answers to, and to ask questions that elicit responses, and I'll give the players and give fans and an inside look into what's going on. Pass rush was an issue all season. The Panthers were near the bottom in pass rush.
Last year also, I think they were 32nd. They were absolutely dead last in sacks. So
if you have an issue with the pass rush and it's the final day of the season or final game, whatever, I'm going to ask a pass rusher who really was the only pass rusher we talked to in cleanout day, what needs to be done to fix the pass rush. I wasn't being messy. I was asking a question that people wanted to know, and I specifically wanted to know the answer to. What happened on that last drive? I want to know why you go into prevent defense. Not to be messy. I literally, as somebody, I respect the opinions of these guys. To get to that level, you have to be talented. You have to be very smart. You have to be driven. You have to know ball. So I'm always going to yield to what they say. I ask questions because I want to know the answer. I wasn't being messy. Princely kept it a buck. Princely says the talent is in the room. We just don't have an opportunity to get off, basically. I mean, you just can't let a guy like Stafford dink and dump you. And
it's not Stafford. He's not a scrub.
Let's run down the defensive numbers, but this was before the game. Sacks, 28th in the league, tied for 28th. You know there are 31 teams in the league, 32 teams, right? Third down percentage, 31st. And a lot of those were third and long. 31st in the league in third down percentage. They were top 10 in interceptions. Why is that? Because you have two corners who are balling, basically. Middle of the pack in points per game, they were 15th. But with the pass rush, third down efficiency, total defense, they were the 18th, which is marginal, right? It's mid. But with all of that, Evero quietly got an extension during the offseason. We didn't know.
So vague about that extension. And guys, y'all should have saw my jaw drop when I finally asked. I said, so his contract isn't expiring at the end of the season. This was before Saturday. This was last week going into the playoffs practice. And I was told, no, I cannot share the details, but no, it is not expiring. It was reworked since Coach Canales has been here. The timeline of when that happened, I do not know. I do think that he was not fired after that egregious, worst in the history. We all saw the graphics, most points, most yards given up in NFL history. And I think that was on a per game basis because a lot of people will note that there's 17 games versus 16 now. That did not matter. It was still horrendously bad. I think that they were taking into account the DB injury, the Shaq Thompson injury, and the fact that they had gone all in on the offensive side of the ball. I think that this year was them trying to even the score. Like, you know what? All of our resources and our focus was on protecting Bryce and getting Bryce some weapons. This offseason, we're going to make defense a priority and see what you can do with that. And that's what this 2025 season was. Because they've had some games where he called a good game for most of the game. It's just that fourth quarter gets to him and he starts playing not to lose. And there are certain quarterbacks that you cannot do that with. And Matt Stafford is one of those. Unfortunately, it happened at the bank in a playoff game. We do not know. Normally, and even if we don't know the details of a coach's contract, as far as compensation wise, they usually don't keep it under wraps like that if they extend someone.
Because it was controversial to extend a defensive coordinator on the heels of a historically bad defense would not garner great press and great attention. So they kept it on the hush to prevent the PR nightmare. This was done based on what was said in the press room yesterday, ahead of last season, and reportedly it's through 2027. And this is what Canales said about Ejiro Evero.
Trust in Ejiro. Love the way that he's brought this group to play quality football together. And, he's got my full support and love our scheme, love what we do there. And, getting our guys to play together when we execute this scheme, it's really difficult, to play against. And the guys have found a way to play together, communicate together, and really, like you saw last night in glimpses, just like the style of play that we're looking for, the big hits, the tackling, the coverage on the back end and all that, and the rush at times, and the pressure packages, the different things that he was able to do to create rush, to create pressure for quarterbacks. I just love where we're headed that way. And as always, with all of our schemes, we'll look at it and we'll continue to evolve. We'll continue to push the envelope and move forward from there.
Just to clarify, the last public knowledge on his deal was that contract was expiring after this season. Is that not the case?
No, we had conversations beforehand about his contract and his future going forward there. So it just that'll come out whenever it does.
So did he sign an extension when you were hired?
I can't remember the exact dates of it.
But since you've been hired, he has signed an extension.
Yes.
And to be clear, he'll be your defensive coordinator next season.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
The plan for the offense.
Brad.
That's what I wanted to do yesterday when he told us 100%. But I will say this. I think that he is being politically correct to mention the scheme specifically.
But to say he put together nice packages for a pass rush, where? To say we saw glimpses?
That's a problem. You don't need to see glimpses.
Is an issue. Listen to the wording, guys. Oh, we saw glimpses in a wild card playoff game. You don't need to see glimpses of anything. It ain't glimpses. No. Like, this is where the rubber meets the road. Ain't no glimpses of a good defense when you're in the playoffs. You need to see a good defense. Oh, you saw glimpses. You've seen glimpses of his pressure packages.
Glimpses aren't good enough.
28th in the league in sacks. Glimpses.
He's in his third year. You spent some money on that defense. You spent some money on that defense in the offseason. You drafted some rookies that are making a difference on that side of the ball. Glimpses are not good enough. Not in year 3. And this isn't his first year being a DC. This isn't even his third year being a DC. You know, glimpses aren't good enough at this stage in the game. Evero is too experienced for that. I think that the standard needs to be higher and it needs to be consistent. Again, we saw glimpses, but when it mattered, it was obsolete. And I think that that's an issue.
Yeah. On money downs, it just wasn't hitting. The Evero was the defensive coordinator in Denver in 2022. Since then, their defense has improved since he left.
Namely, the pass rushers.
Come on, listen.
I'm
a girly who defense still wins championships, right? Look at the Eagles last season. Like even those Patrick Mahomes Chiefs teams had top 10 defense. You cannot expect to go deep on a playoff run and you have a middle of the road defense. You just can't. You can't beat top quarterbacks and not pressure them. They will cook you every time. So we'll see what happens. It's just, I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this at all. But you know, I don't get paid the big bucks to do it. So I was for sure. I would have bet. Girl,
I thought he was out of there. I was waiting for the notice. Well, I thought he was going last season. I'm not even going to hold you. I even asked him that during training camp. I was like, did you think you were going to get fired? I mean, but I asked if he worried about his job security last season. And he kind of, you know, he always gives us the political answers. And guys, Evero is asked specific questions on Thursdays when we talk to coordinators. Unfortunately, by the time you're talking to him on Thursday, you're preparing for the game on Sunday. So last Sunday's game is a thing of the past, and that's really what you're going to get. Oh, I'm focused on such and such this week. So he has been asked what his philosophy is. He is very media trained, and he says what he needs to say.
All right, I'm gonna address this. You can't keep putting it on the personnel. Evero got respect around the league, hence the head coaching interviews. Let me tell you this. Have y'all heard of the Rooney Rule?
Bloop.
Have y'all heard of the Rooney Rule? If not, look it up. Look it up, okay? There are requirements that these teams have to hit when it comes to interviewing non-white candidates for their head coaching jobs. These guys are checking off boxes. All right. Let's not get it twisted. Sheena, let's talk about the offseason.
Man, a lot of big decisions are coming up. The offensive line, almost the whole offensive line are hitting free agency or will become free agents in March. But the biggest thing is, of course, Jaylen Coker. He had a 2-year contract as an undrafted free agent. So he is set to become an exclusive rights free agent. I don't see that happening. I think the Panthers get his deal done quickly. I think he has earned that. He has absolutely solidified himself as a sure set of hands. Mike Jack's not a free agent yet. He has one more year on that 2-year extension he signed last year, but I feel like you lock him down long term. I think that has to be a priority as well. Especially like he's earned it. Yesterday's price is not today's price. He has absolutely solidified himself as the best CB2 in the league, CB1 for some teams. And I think that he's going to be expected to be compensated as such, as he should. But there's some injuries. Again, on that offensive line, there are some guys that are set to become free agents, but they're injuries to like the two main pillars of that offensive line. And Robert Hunt, he looks to have re-injured his pectoral muscle. He was scheduled for an MRI. He had not had that done at the time we spoke to him yesterday. Icky, he ruptured his patella tendon, correct? Ruptured his patella tendon. We don't know the timeline of how long he will be out. He has had surgery on that, so speedy recovery to him. But that's going to bring up the question of the movements they need to make in free agency and in the draft for the offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive linemen who are free agents: Austin Corbett, Josh Nijman, Cade Mays, Brady Christensen, and Jake Curhan. That is a good chunk of your depth along that offensive line. If I had to guess, Austin likely he's
will sign elsewhere or yeah.
Josh Nijman has been a great depth guy for the Panthers. He has filled in at right tackle. He's filled in at left tackle. He's even filled in on the interior of the line. I would try to bring him back. Cade Mays, your center, I think they try to bring him back. Brady Christensen, not sure about that. He's had injury issues as well.
He has, I think, but what Brady Christensen gives you is that he can play anywhere on that line except for center. So he has that. That was a gift and a curse last year. He was too versatile. Well, the 2024 season, not 2025. But I think that you do. Cade and Brady are the no-brainers for me that you absolutely have to bring back. Josh seems like you're going to have to bring him back too. We don't know what's going on with Icky. Those are the three that I think you try to figure it out.
As far as wide receiver room, it's just David Moore, who's an unrestricted free agent. Of course, Rico Dowdle. As far as outside linebacker, you got DJ Wanham and Travis Gibson. DJ Wanham is questionable. I don't see him returning.
Do you feel like he didn't make a big enough impact to where you're like, okay, we need to bring him back? Or is this time to swing for the fences and get some pass rush?
Well, they drafted 2 pass rushers this past season.
They
you got
did.
Sporton, you got Princely, then you bring in Pat Jones, who got hurt. He'll be coming back. I just don't I don't know if Wanham, maybe they bring I don't know. I think obviously he's going to test free agency. I don't know whether that didn't allow him to prosper or what, but yeah.
We forgot about Curhan.
Yeah, I mentioned him.
I feel like I felt like he played really well too. You got to bring that O-line depth back.
Oh,
the only person that I could see them really kind of just moving on from is Austin Corbett.
I wouldn't be surprised about Brady either, just because he hasn't been able to stay healthy.
But he's just so versatile. Nobody else has either. I'm trying to think. I feel like everybody on that line has missed at least. Everybody on the line missed at least one game last season. Taylor missed a game. Moat missed a game. Obviously Rob Hunt. D-Lou might not have, but I feel like he did.
I feel like he missed
at least one. I feel like he missed at least.
Cade Mays missed the game as well too.
Cade Mays. Yeah, so I think that Brady, just for the fact that he can pretty much plug into anywhere, that's a guy you kind of have to have on your squad. In my opinion.
Linebackers, you got Christian Roseboom and Chris Barnes. That to me is their greatest need.
That's for sure. Need. I think that the Josie Jewell injury or concussion, whatever was going on with him, and them getting that news so late in the game, I think it was right before training camp, wasn't it? Definitely put them behind the 8 ball. They already were very, very thin at that position. Definitely put them behind the 8 ball, and they just weren't able to make anything happen in time. But I do see them drafting an interior linebacker for sure.
If not going out and getting one in free agency.
I think you do both. You do both. You like that middle of
Roseboom did. Yeah, he had a bad start. I was told that they had a talk with him, and it was like, bruh, you gotta tighten up. You gotta tighten up. And ever since that talk about tightening up, he played decently. Roseboom played decently.
Some pass breakups.
Second half of the season, I thought he played decently. Maybe you keep him, but you need a stud at linebacker, and they don't.
You need a dog.
They
You
don't
need a
have one right
dog. And everyone expected Trayvon Wallace to take that next step, but he had injury problems all this season with the shoulder. Was it shoulder? Yeah, he had the green dot
Yeah.
in the beginning. Yeah, but and Panther Gal said he had the green dot in the beginning, and I think that was a little bit much for him. And once we saw him give up the green dot, and he could just play freely, I think that was another reason that he had a boom in the second half of the season. But I mean, yeah, Rose Boom I think is serviceable, but like I'm with Vashti, you got to draft you an absolute dog. And Dan Morgan
I
being
think
a
you get one in
linebacker
free
himself,
agency.
I think you do both. I
They
think
got
because
money.
it's supposed to be a pretty good linebacker draft. So I think you address it in both.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Cornerbacks, you got a Caleb Evans, Robert Rochelle, and Damari Mathis, basically practice squad guys. Safety, you got Nick Scott and Isaiah Simmons. Shout out Isaiah Simmons, somebody who
because he was doing his thing in them special teams.
He made a huge impact on special teams, which I think you could potentially see how that shakes out. I think they bring Isaiah Evans back, see what type of impact he can make. Maybe he has a resurgence here in Carolina.
I agree. I think he's definitely played himself into another opportunity. He also had that block punt. He had that the block punt, and he had pinned the Rams back inside their own 5-yard line. I think you bring him in. He was a late season addition, so I think it was hard for him to kind of catch up defensively. But I think you definitely bring him back, not only on special teams, but see what he can do at that safety position. He wants to play safety.
Nick Scott, listen, guys. We know how y'all feel about Nick Scott. Don't be surprised if they bring like Evero likes Nick Scott. They like Nick Scott. Nick Scott is somebody that the organization, not just the coaches, like people in the organization,
they love him
glowingly about Nick Scott. They do.
I think Nick Scott gonna be back. I think he'll be back.
But y'all gonna get that notey, and it's gonna be like ding. Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. The other ones, the Anthony Bell practice squad guy, you got Sam Martin and you got JJ Jansen. I think Sam and JJ, I mean, JJ gonna ride this out until
he retires.
Right. And who knows?
I think the day that they decide that they are moving on from JJ Jansen, he retires.
The restricted free agents, James Mitchell, LeBrian Ray, Thomas Nkum, and Claudin Sherlis. Again, they got to beef up that linebacker room. They got to beef up that linebacker room.
Sure.
Exclusive rights free agents, Jaylen Coker and Bryson Tremaine. I think Jaylen Coker will be a priority for them. And then
I think Bryson comes back too.
Yeah.
He's played a lot of special teams, got a couple, snaps. And when he was targeted, he caught the ball too. I mean, if you're going to get 1 to 2 targets, you better do something with them. And I think that he has a sure set of hands also. And of course, we talked about Jaylen Coker. He's a no-brainer. Like you got to throw the bag at Jaylen Coker because he put the whole league on notice.
Jaylen also has to stay healthy though.
He does.
But
you
break him off. He ain't about to get top pay. But you give him some funds, and I think that they were saying that Canales wasn't 100% happy or satisfied with his physical conditioning that he came back with, so that could also tie into the injury issues, and if he gets that under control, maybe we'll see him play 17 games and more next season. So, Chuba had to, get in his bag. Now, nobody does self-care or like health maintenance like Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard's rehabbing every day. Chuba, like he's in there day, night, like taking care of his body. So, I mean, he needs to get with Jaylen. Jaylen, get with Chuba. We have about 1,700 people watching us right now. We appreciate you joining us. If you aren't subscribed to the channel on YouTube, please make sure you're doing so. Also, making sure to follow us on social media. We have Twitter at Quick Blitz, and then Sheena is Sheena_Marie3, and then at Keep Blitzing. So make sure you're following us. We appreciate all the comments, all the viewers. When y'all see us out in the streets, y'all shout us out. We love y'all for that. We're gonna play a couple of more videos from clean out day. We're gonna do some dripping or tripping, and then there's a game coming on tonight, so I know y'all want to see that game.
I know, yeah.
This is what DB had to say closeout day.
I don't know, man. It's one of those things where, I look back on it. Last year, I didn't get this opportunity to play ball. So just to be able to come back, the greatest reward I can have from this year is being able to play all 18 games and be available for this team. The personal aspect of it, yeah, you want personal reward, but, I think it's so many people that, just trash on this team and this organization that, being able to make the playoffs was the greatest reward for me in this season. We want to bring playoff football back here. People say, man, you have to leave this organization to be able to ever go, win. So, I mean, just to be able to, slap those people in the face, that is what it is for me. My play is always going to be what it is. Shit, if you don't respect it, then I know it. You better respect it come Sunday. So, I don't take anything to that. I mean, yeah, it pisses me off, but, somebody's got to get it on Sunday. Fuck, if you don't think I'm a good player, then I'll see you on Sunday. So, I mean, that's the best I can tell you. If you don't respect me, then shit, you're going to be in for a long game.
DB still mad about that Pro Bowl and that
As
All-Pro.
he should be. All-Pro got snubbed. I mean, that's because of the franchise he plays for and the lack of respect for this team on a national level.
But listen, DB was a little. He had a little emotion. I like to see that. I like to see the emotion. This is what Big Rob had to say.
I think that we still will get disrespected. We'll still be the underdogs come week 1 this upcoming year. This is what it is. It's the nature of the game. We were 10-point underdogs yesterday. Nobody gave us a chance. I think we should have won that game. We had a chance to win that game. I mean, we lost, so it is what it is. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to be the same thing until we make it right. You know what I mean? Until we do what we got to do. And I think we're building something special. We'll bring in some more pieces. We'll keep building. And I really think even when I'm after this, I think that this thing is headed the right direction. And I can't wait to just watch it grow even when I'm done. So.
Right. All right, guys. Listen. Doubters, haters, they ready for them. All right, let's get to dripping and tripping real quick. We got 5 minutes before kickoff on the next game. We're going to start with the guy who took his job back.
I like this. I love
Teams
when guys
across the board. Teams across the board.
For sure. I love the cultural, when guys wear their traditional cultural outfits. I love that. And I think I like this fit. I feel like it's clean. I love a crisp white.
10s across the board, except I don't know about the shoe.
The shoes.
Okay. So there ain't 10s across the board. Mostly 10s and then a 7 on the shoe. Because I don't know, maybe there's black in the fit that we can't see, but the black is throwing me off when the red is it seems like the primary secondary color.
Well,
right?
Is that a traditional shoe that goes with that attire though?
See, I don't know. It could be. But as far as I love the African fit. I'm with it. Chuba is of his father is Nigerian. So shout out, like, we love a heritage fit here.
For sure.
I like it. I'm glad I'm glad they actually got a photo of this.
Yeah. He's dressed like a lineman, like an offensive lineman. He's just like an offensive lineman.
He dressed like retirement.
He's got the camouflage Crocs.
He dressed like retirement.
The cargo capris.
This is Saturday. I'm done playing football. I'm coaching. My kids.
Coaching Pop Warner.
Yeah.
Maybe not even Pop Warner yet. Maybe God, what's the other one? I can't think of it.
I don't know.
I9.
Yeah, whatever that is, that's what this is giving. But shout out Austin. Nice guy.
Coke in between the Cokes. All black. He looked like he came in there to cook. I think he just was like, I'm about to just go to work. Like, I'm not trying to make no statement. Black on black.
Okay. It's still giving
he's not like, I think that's just his personality. He's not like, oh, let me see what I'm about to, I'm about to really kill him with this fit on Saturday. He like, yo, I got some black sweats clean. Bet. Toss me those.
It's given. I'm going downstairs to Publix real quick.
Fair.
I mean, I want just a little more, Somebody said the gamma's a fire. I'm not even a fan of those shades. I don't know. It's giving, I don't know. But Jaylen has his own like simplistic style. So
around funeral, he damn near gave him one. I could tell you that.
So,
almost.
I mean, yeah. Who is this? Why you put this man up here? We don't know who this man is.
Girl, I thought you did.
I've seen him in the locker room. But
me too.
I cannot tell you his name. Sorry to this man.
Why would we say it at the same time? I'm over here trying to whisper it like the people aren't going to see me.
Sheena set this man up for failure by adding him to this list, and she knows we don't know who this man is. Given that, we going to speak on the fit. Not a fan. Now, I mean, I'm guessing this is Denim Tears. Denim Tears was hot last year.
A couple seasons ago? No, that's not one of them.
I think.
That's James Mitchell.
Oh, that is James Mitchell. Thanks, guys.
Shout out Jace. Isn't that the backup tight end, Mitchell Evans? But not Mitchell Evans, but the other one.
That's James
Thank you.
Mitchell. Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's James Mitchell. Was still.
Somebody said he looks like KK Short. That's hilarious.
He does, but I'm not. Yeah.
Y'all play all day on here, man.
Okay.
Y'all play all day. Mike Jack, Rich Unk vibes. He's gonna give you a subtle little. If you get a logo, a symbol, it's gonna be subtle. I almost didn't even see the LV on the pocket.
That jacket.
I like the detail.
Funny now.
Yeah,
but yeah, subtle.
The subtle details. I like subtle details. He's definitely on his rich uncle aesthetic.
This screams, I got money. I got money, and
I got money, and I need to get some more. Pay me some more because I'm about to ball.
Yesterday's price is not
today's price.
That's what this is giving. All right.
Looks like you two a couple. Who?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay. Christian Roseboom.
This is giving. What is the
He's got that sheriff
Yellowstone.
Yeah. He definitely looks like a Taylor Sheridan character for sure. Landman, Yellowstone, those type vibes. Like on the weekends, he goes up to Fort Worth to party with the oil mavens.
Yeah, I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at the country vibes.
He does give Kid Rock vibes. He does.
Truck
Panther
driver,
Gal said Kid Rock.
Yeah, I'm with that.
QB1. I can't figure out, are those, I'm trying to see the pants.
I think they're striped pants.
Okay.
And I think the glasses are Cartier. I actually like
He had on the buffs. He had them buffs on.
I like this. I like the fact that he didn't give us a jean. He gave us a pinstripe look. I don't know if
some effort.
Is it corduroy or velvet?
I know it's a Miri.
Okay.
And
it
is kind of a corduroy look.
This drip.
But yeah. I like it. I'm gonna go dripping.
And he's staying true to his Concord aesthetics with the sneakers.
Well, he's a jump man, so he's always gonna be in those.
It's drip. It's drip. I like it. I'm glad he gave us a little eyewear. Hey.
You know what I'm gonna say, because it's my favorite color.
That's my favorite color too, actually.
That cobalt, that royal blue, that Butler Please. That's my color. So it's always gonna be driven for me if I see this color. I'm sorry. I'm biased though.
With that being said, I need the Panthers photo team to do a better job of giving us
capturing the whole fit.
We
need to see the shoes.
Either that or let us take our own pictures, because we got much better pictures when we had a photographer for the away game. Y'all can't keep picking and choosing these fits to give us. We need to see more like that. You doing a disservice to these guys who putting this stuff on. I don't know.
Mike J gotta get him on the brand Jordan.
I guess you gotta get him on Jordan brand. But I don't know. Mike Jack has his own style.
He does have his own style.
Dan Morgan, we will be there. Dan Morgan will speak tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So we'll be there. That will be like the final to do, I'm guessing. Before
that's the last time we're gonna speak to him before the last week of February in Indianapolis.
Combine.
At the combine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get more insight into the decision to keep Evero. But
that's the first question people are going to ask. When it happened, why was it done quietly? What is your thinking? What do you see for him in the future with this franchise? 90% of the questions are going to be about Evero being retained and just the details of how his extension even happened. So
you asked, can we do another show to update us? Sheena and I will go through our schedules. I still kind of want to do the weekly show, so we still may do the weekly show to keep up with you guys. And if
at the very least, we could do a space.
Yeah, we could do a space maybe afterwards tomorrow. But that's it, guys. They're kicking off on that playoff game. We appreciate y'all. We got about 1,800 people watching us right now. If you aren't subscribed, like please do.
What you doing?
What you doing? Please. But we appreciate all the support this season, guys. We aren't going anywhere. We'll be here. So as news comes, make sure you're following our social media spaces for news and for updates. And if we get anything really, really good from Dan, maybe we'll do another one of these. Maybe we'll probably do a space. Maybe we'll key on the space tomorrow midday. But thanks for you guys' support. We love covering this team because we love the guys in the locker room. We love the guys we cover, but we also love y'all fans. Y'all go hard for us. So
listen. Connect XL with Ocho. From what I gather, apparently he reached out to him yesterday. So we'll see.
There's a little quick Blitz exclusive. See, you always see these are the glimpses you want, not the glimpses that we see defense on the game. These are the little nuggets that you want. So you heard it. XL
we'll see if we see some videos this off season.
There you go. A quick Blitz exclusive. Ding ding. Anyways, thanks guys. We'll be back sometime soon. Thanks for y'all support.